My name is Rich Stevens. I'm a person who stutters, a very proud person who stutters. And what I'm going to share with you today, I'm just going to speak very briefly about our organisation, but I really want to share with you about a summer camp that I lead in Australia. And I'm also going to transport you there. I've got a video. It's got a bit of music on. It's just going to transport you into the summer camp that I lead. So the Stuttering Association for the Young Australia is a not-for-profit organisation. We're based in Australia, and we just support kids and teens who stutter from the ages of 7 up to 18. And by what I mean by how we support our young people is we provide a safe space where they can just come and where they can meet other young people who stutter. I'm sure a lot of us who have a stutter as a kid, we never met anyone else who had a stutter. And that's the premise of what we do. We don't tell people that they have to be fluent, they have to accept, or anything like that. The only thing that we ask is that they bring themselves, their true authentic selves, and they speak however way they want to speak. And we use the creative arts as a cool tool for them to be able to express themselves. So all of the services we provide are free. But we do a summer camp as well. We're a small charge, but the summer camp that we do is a summer camp that lasts for 5 days. And we we launched here in Australia in 2018, but our summer camp has been going for 2 years now. And at our summer camp, it's a summer camp with lots of cool activities for the kids to engage in, a lot of our creative arts activities. And for like everyone in the space who has a stutter, just think back to when you were a kid. And I'm not going to speak for everyone who has a stutter, but for the many people who I've spoken to over time, I've always shared that all they wanted to do was meet other people who stutter. Maybe not to talk about it, but to just be in that space, where you are around other people who know what it's like to find it hard to say your name, to find it hard to maybe order the things you want to do, to raise your hand in class, and a number of other things. So a great thing that we do is a camp. We do a 5-day camp in the January time. And the first year we did it in a couple of years ago, 2022. We had 12 kids. Last year we had 20, and this year we're looking like we're going to get 30 to 40 kids. So that's really awesome. So I'm just going to play a video for you all. It's about 5 kind of minutes long, and because I can talk about camp as much as I want, but I really want to transport you all there as best that I can. So without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen. I should be able to share a video. And then, so you should all be able to see a video now. If I can just get a thumbs up from anyone who's there, just that you should be able to see a video. Hopefully you can see a video. I'm just going to play it now. And this is, I'm transporting you to our summer camp, Camp Say. We start the day, we take a song and we change the lyrics of famous songs, and we change the lyrics to do with our community, our environment, and our camp. So we start as the first thing that you'll see or hear.
Need just a little bit more volume, Rich.
I think that's the loudest it goes, Tom, just for this bit, and then it'll be on after that.
Have you ever hoped and dreamed of
going to go and do them, and it's good. Ollie, did you have a question?
I really feel at home here. I really feel like this is where I belong. I belong at camp. This is my family. Yay!
So that's a brief kind of window into our world at camp. I just want to do a shout out to Cameron Rains, who's here in this chat, because he is one of our team members and he did all the filming for that. So everything that you saw, all the photographs, the films. So I transported you there into a big thing and what we do. So obviously we do all of our creative programs in the creative arts, but a summer camp period is so important, because when we get our children and our kids for such a short space of time, it's so important that when we do all of our programming, we only see our kids for a couple of hours a week. When we do a summer camp, we have our kids for like 4 or 5 days. And I get to know, I've been working with some kids on Zoom or in person for a couple of years here in Melbourne, in Australia. But at camp, I learned so much about our young people in the first day, in the first 24 hours. And I hope what really came across from that was a lot of joy, was a lot of confidence, was a lot of joy, was a lot of smiles. And we talk a lot in our world about shining eyes. And what I mean by this is like, there's a TED Talk, and it's about a guy who's a composer, and he shares this beautiful quote at the end where it's like, if we're engaging with anybody, especially children, when we walk away from that child, or when that child walks away from us, they should have shining eyes. They should have shining eyes. And when through our engagement, if they're not having shining eyes, then we need to look internally. We need to look at ourselves and think about what we are providing for our youth. So at camp, we provide that beautiful environment where, one, they meet other people who stutter. No one's telling them how to speak. No one's telling them that they have to be fluent or they have to accept. And the only ask is that they be themselves. And what we see through that is confidence. We see confidence in their communication. We see confidence in themselves as people who stutter. And what we see is that transference on that confidence that is gained at camp, and take that home into school, take that home into their everyday life. And the feedback that we get from parents, the feedback that we get from the young people is like, when is the next camp? They just can't wait to come back. And what is one of the most beautiful things about camp as well is, like, if you don't have a stutter, you're kind of in the minority, because a lot of our team, a lot of our staff are people who stutter. All of our kids are people who stutter. And I think a message I want to really kind of give out, because there's people here from across the world involved in all these organizations. I would say, if you don't have a summer camp, maybe think about it. Maybe really think about starting a summer camp in your area, and whatever the philosophy is that, is to do with your organization in whatever country you are in. But I would strongly advise having a look at the summer camps, because there's loads of summer camps around the world for kids who stutter. There are plenty in America, kind of Friends do all these one-day conferences. There's Camp More, there's Camp Say in America, there's loads of camps everywhere. So if you don't have one in your country, and if you work with kind of kids and even adults and stuff, and you can even think of adults, but when you get people who stutter in this space for 4 or 5 days, I just see it constantly. I see the magic happen. I see the magic every single time where a kid meets another kid who stutters. I see their eyes light up. I see their hearts be full. And I think that, it's one of the profound experiences that I've ever had. And especially here in Australia, there is not a camp like ours. There has never been a summer camp for kids who have a stutter. So obviously I brought that over from America and stuff, but there has never been a camp like ours in Australia. And what we're finding is the numbers are increasing every year. So we started off with 12, last year we had 20, and this year we're looking like 30 to 40 kids. So that's what I would advise. I would advise, like I know in other countries, other countries are doing it as well. I would strongly advise, if you don't have a summer camp and you're working with kids who stutter in your country, there's people to reach out to, like me and other people in other kind of countries who run a summer camp. And I strongly advise, it's like, you know, if you want to see pure kind of magic, you know, in terms of kids who stutter, start a summer camp, bring them together under a philosophy of what I believe is a philosophy of, like, not telling kids how to be. If they want to be fluent, if they want to accept, or whatever these things is, when you take a step back from that and you just go, here's a space, there's another person who stutters, you see the conversations, you see the magic, you see the confidence, and you see that whole, the feelings of isolation, the feeling of loneliness just melt away. So for people who are just joining us, you missed a bit of a video, but it's all right. You know, it's all good. You missed a bit of a video of camp. I just showed a bit. I transported people to Camp Say here in Australia and stuff, but there's plenty of things on YouTube and stuff and things like that. But the main kind of message is, like I was saying, it's like when we get these kids a couple of times a week in our programs for like 2 hours here, you know, and then 2 hours in the week after that. But when we get them at camp for like 5 days, we just learn so much about our young people and stuff. And it's like saying, whatever the philosophy of a camp is, if people are coming to it, then obviously they want to be there. But, you know, it's like I was saying, I'm sure all of us as kids, we just wanted to meet other kids who stutter, and adults as well, but like other kids who were like us, and to do that in a camp environment where there's no other noise, where there's no other noise at all. It's just a noise that you give out. And when it's full of love, when it's full of acceptance, full of support, lots of listening, and where there's not a prescription, as in you can come to camp but you got to be fluent, or you can come to camp and you have to accept. When you take that away and you just go, here's a summer camp, let's have a bit of fun, be a bit bonkers, and yet use the creative arts tools, or use whatever tools you like use, as well as just a summer camp and all those experience. Like I say, you know, I see those shining eyes, I see those hearts full, and every single year, because we're growing here as well, every single year I hear the same thing at the airport. When I drop off all the kids and I wait until every kid is in the air, I always hear the same thing. Well, there's two things now. When are you doing it for a full week? All right, it's a bit expensive, so we'll see. And the other one is like, is it okay if I come back? It's like, yeah, you're in it now for life as much as you want. So that is Camp Say Australia. And it's like I said, there are so many other camps out there. It's so amazing. It's like, you know, around the world and stuff. So it's a great time to be a person who stutters. It's a great time to be a kid who stutters, because there's so much out there and stuff. So, and we are just part of that in a little bit. We're just part of this huge community and stuff. And it's like I said, if you in your country and you don't have a summer camp and there's an idea and you want to do one, I'm always available to chat. You know, it doesn't have to be a Camp Say and stuff. I'm just always there to like help and to offer advice and stuff. And like, you know, because I did exactly the same. I did a reach out, and I can signpost you to other places as well. So thank you all for listening, for watching the video, for hearing the song. If anyone doesn't know that song, it's the Benatar song, We Belong, because we changed the lyrics to a famous song, and we changed the lyrics to do with camp. So if it's a familiar song, that's where it comes from. So yeah, thank you all for your ears. Thank you all for listening.